Hey everyone, Peter and myself, Tim Poffenbarger, are here, and we're gonna talk about a tool called What is Nuisance? It's a release overview tool of GitLab, and essentially the crux of what this does is it's a static website page, and every single month after GitLab releases on the 22nd, we have a CI job that scours all of the historical releases, pulls together that information, aggregates it, and then we create this visualized illustration of all the things that are going on in our product. Peter had asked, like how to take advantage of this as much as possible, and I just wanted to kind of talk through this. So Peter, I'd be curious, what are the things that you care most about when you're like interested in this?
So my thinking is, if I'm speaking to a customer for the first time, i.e. they've just onboarded into GitLab and it's the introductory call, or they've been a GitLab customer for a couple of years and I've just inherited the account, their view of me as an AE is, where are you going to add any value to me? And my thinking here is, what information can we provide to an account executive that can immediately seem like we have value, which isn't just commercially focused, it's actually in product adoption or tier understanding or anything of that nature?
Yeah, that's a great question. So this is organized by releases, so you can actually see. So let's say that a customer, you talk with a customer and you ask them the question, or you look in Salesforce and you recognize that they're still on like version 13.4. So we can go through and pull up and say 13.4, and they communicate, hey, we've had a real hard time with Kubernetes. There's a couple different things that you could be doing here. You could just do a quick search for Kubernetes and have a list of all the things between, 83 items, 83 changes that have happened between 13.4 and 15.3 that are related to Kubernetes. Now that's a lot of changes, so maybe we would want to even scope that down even further. Maybe they care about feature flags, so being able to like search for feature flags might be the right thing. So we have 26 items there. All of this is structured, so you can see that there are stages and categories. When we think about GitLab as a whole, we organize ourselves into the 10 DevOps stages. Protect is going to be renamed to another stage pretty soon. But we have these 10 DevOps stages, and if we drill into like create, for example, and click learn more, you can actually see subcategories here. So if you're ever interested in understanding like, okay, what are a part of these? That would be able to be a good thing to show. So here we can actually see wiki is here. So let's go ahead and just search on wiki, and I can see. So now we're actually going to limit, and we're only going to show things that are about the wiki between 13.4 and 15.3. So these are progressively advanced. So, and if they're maybe looking at Ultimate, we could see if there's any capabilities that are related to the wiki that are only available in Ultimate. Because I was able to set that minimum tier, and you can see that there's nothing there. But if we were to potentially look at like alert management, I might be able to see, or if I want to take a step back and actually look more at like the manage stage. So one gap here, this number will always automatically update. Sometimes the application doesn't filter appropriately, but the URL is actually updated correctly. So if you refresh, you'll actually see those 42 features. So if you ever have a problem, that's the issue there. So keep an eye when you're playing around with filters that if you see this number and you're not seeing any results, that's why. So being able to go into here and filter on like the most recent features, or if you know there's something that they really care about, being able to scope to that thing, as well as to maybe just the Ultimate tier, would significantly help. Overall, it's really nice to be able to show them this. This is showing you a graph of all the changes that are going on across the organization. But if you actually want, you can look over here and click on manage. And what this is going to do is it's going to show you all the changes just specific to manage that are being rolled out. Or I can click on verify, like, so this is progressively adding. So if I know that they care about, like create, manage, verify, and secure, I can show them, hey, here are the ways that we're building that stuff out. Alternatively, you could filter that by the features by version and be able to show those same exact features. It's the same data set. This is just rolling it up in an aggregate. It's not clickable in terms of actually seeing those issues.
So you can't actually drill down into this graph at all. It's just a visual representation at this time.
Just a visual representation, but the same data is over here. So if I wanted to, like, let's say I wanted to see features by version and I wanted, verify and secure and ecosystem. So this is the same kind of filter that I was having over there.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to see all those features in this list here.
So if I'm an account executive, I'm speaking to a customer for the first time, I'm asking them questions about what parts of GitLab they're using and what they could adopt next. My question to them could be, what version are you on today versus what version do you want to get to? And actually then you can narrow down areas that you can make suggestions. So Tim, unfortunately, you're on 9.2. It looks like you've not been doing anything for a while, but if you're looking to improve, so these are some of the features, the verified runner fleet, the license compliance that you could get access to, and it becomes a reaction to a problem that they may have that you've discussed in an Ask Me Anything, or an SA has been involved, or actually they've identified that a feature could be available of interest for them, and you can use this as a point of interest to learn a little bit more about it. Would that be a good overview?
Yeah, and oftentimes, like when so if they're like, I am on 13.4, I'd love to be able to upgrade, but it just sounds like a really daunting task. We have this button here. You can't just go from 13.4 to 15.3. That's not even possible. You have to upgrade incrementally. But we do have fastest paths. So this page here is dedicated to allowing you to do like 13.4.7, Enterprise Edition on Ubuntu. Let's go ahead and say auto install and no downtime. This is going to generate the list of commands that you need to run in order to get your system upgraded. So it's still, quite a bit of commands, but at the same time, it allows the customer to know the clear path to upgrade, because it is a little bit daunting knowing that I'm going to have to upgrade all of these to all of these.
And how often should a customer actually be upgrading then?
So GitLab releases on the 22nd of every single month. And when I used to manage the team that we would upgrade on a weekly basis, our GitLab instance.
Wow.
Because at any given point in time, there might be a security vulnerability. And we want to make sure that we're kind of always up to date. So Sunday night, we actually used, I wouldn't recommend this at home, folks, but we used GitLab and GitLab runners to then log back into GitLab and upgrade GitLab. And then we also upgraded our runner fleet. Every single Sunday night, it was completely automated.
So great question from an AE to a customer is, what's your upgrade schedule? Are you aware of the upgrade path to take advantage of the latest feature releases? That's one aspect of value that you could provide.
Yep.
Second is, if you're on a previous version and you're potentially looking to move to a future version, these are some of the newest capabilities that exist in that gap. That could be a reaction to a customer problem, or the AE trying to encourage the customer to go down a specific route, namely up-tiering or taking advantage of more of the stages that they're not currently taking advantage of.
Yeah.
And is there content here? So I'm the customer and we're chatting away. Is there content here that you could send to me as the customer that would allow me to visually read a little bit more about what is on offer from all of these different features?
Yeah, so one, anytime you make updates here, it automatically populates. This is available to all of our customers. So if I log in to GitLab, I'm not authenticated into GitLab right now. This is available to everyone in the world. All it's doing is it's aggregating our publicly available release notes and making them easier to consume over time and not point in time for each given release.
Hugely valuable. And if I am an account executive, and I'm looking at a set of 20 accounts, 10 accounts, and thinking, right, I want to look at their gain site score. So I'm in Salesforce, they're green, maybe the odd yellow, so they're a healthy user of GitLab. How could I use this tool to understand some of the value of how I can approach an ultimate conversation with them?
Yeah, so if they're green, you know, oftentimes we talk about our adoption path going from kind of like CI to more of that security. So if they are green in CI, thinking about this from, and we do have like a green health score for just CI specifically, but what I would probably do is, you know, look at this secure stage and being able to show, like, if I just want to look at the last, you know, 15 releases, I can see, all right, so it looks like there's license compliance and DAST and license compliance and SaaS and code quality. I might thumb through here and say, you know what, I'm going to ask, like, what do you care about more, dependency scanning or SAST? And then I can filter even further down and say, like, okay, I'm going to just search on dependency scanning. And I'm going to maybe share this list with them and say, hey, like, we've been making consistent investments in the last, you know, 4 releases in dependency scanning. Do you feel like these are investments that would benefit you as you go about evaluating GitLab from an perspective?
That's perfect. And actually, at some level, if a customer is on the fence about GitLab or unsure as to how committed we are to a certain stage, this could be the proof point of actually we can visually represent to you the investment that we've made over the past number of months, years on the 22nd of the month. And then we can match that with our maturity state for the future.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Very helpful, Tim. Thank you ever so much for going through this.
Absolutely. And I'm going to stop recording here.